Hi, I was an infantry rifleman in the U.S. Army, and I would like to talk to you about knives, backup weapons. Yeah, if I was going to combat, this would actually be the knife that I'd want to carry. It's a Smith & Wesson. It's a double-edged blade. It's sharp on both sides. It's got a 3.5 inch. It's got a 3.5 inch reach, 3.5 inch blade. And the thing is I'd like to quote the Spartans when they said that someone commented that their short sword wasn't very long, and he said his comment was, well, it's long enough to reach your heart. And that's the truth with even a knife this small. You know, it's still long enough to reach your heart or your throat in a close quarter fight, and you can also stab them all over the place, and pretty soon they'll have enough. But I mean, look at this. You know, this is my arm here. You see how far that blade could reach into it, you know? So, you know, that's enough. And the other thing about a shorter blade like this is that it's less likely to get stuck in the person that you stabbed. And a lot of times people died in like World War I or World War II because they would stab them with something and their knife would get stuck. And it'd take them a while to get the knife out of the person they stabbed, and while they were trying to get the knife out, one of their buddies would get them in the interim. So if I was to be a light infantryman where I had to, you know, march 20 or 30 miles a day, I would not want to go with a knife that was any heavier or bigger than this one as a backup weapon. Now, if I was going shorter distances and I didn't have to go that far, I wouldn't mind having one of these. This is the trench knife, and it was used by soldiers in World War I and World War II. My grandfather had one of these. He was given it to by some French soldiers. They gave him a trench knife and a trench club. He was a trench raider. He killed 29 German soldiers in the war, and he never shot anyone. He got them all up close in hand-to-hand combat. Now this, as you can see, you know, it's brass knuckles. It's got a metal stud at the bottom, and it's also got a double-edged blade. So this, you know, just the side of this thing coming at you, someone holding it with blood in their eyes, is enough to make a lot of people want to think about going the other direction. This is a really good one, but like I said, if I'm going long distances marching, I don't think I'd want to carry something that's this big and this heavy, because you're carrying 80 pounds of equipment, not counting your ammo, and you know, this weighs, you know, a little more than a pound, and whereas this weighs about this weighs 3.3 ounces. You know, this can get the job done quite well too. Now, there is, of course, the Bowie knife. As Crocodile Dundee would say, now that's a knife. But you know, if I had to do a 20 or 30 mile road march, I don't want something this big and heavy carrying around on me. Plus, it's not that quick to grab and pull out, you know, in a tight spot. But if I was, you know, driving a vehicle like a Deuce and a Half or a Hummer, I wouldn't mind having one of these in here as a backup weapon, you know. And even in the Falkland Islands War, they ended up going hand-to-hand combat between the Argentinian forces and the British forces, and you know, so it was, you know, it came down to, you know, basically a stab and punch and push and kick match, you know, between two soldiers, like, you know, what you'd see in medieval times or ancient Greek or ancient Roman times. So the possibility of hand-to-hand combat is very real, even in our push-button high-tech society. I mean, in a firefight, it's very easy to run out of bullets in less than 10 minutes. So, you know, and when people run out of bullets, then they tend to go, you know, hand-to-hand. You know, that's the lesson of history. So, thank you. That's my video. If you like, please hit the like button. If you want to leave a comment, please do, and also don't forget to subscribe. Okay, thank you very much.